Hello, this is Deborah with Black Education TV, and for quite some time now, I've known that people worship Beyonce to the point where you have those who are sitting up in Christian churches having services dedicated to Beyonce, in which we've seen all kinds of foolery in the Christian church. So I'm not surprised by that. Now, recently, Beyonce just acquired her childhood church, I believe it was, where she spent almost $1 million for the building. So what direction is she going with that? What are her plans for that? Why would this woman want to acquire a church? Okay. Why would she want to acquire a church? The thing that I wanted to talk about, though, is this worship of people that we've seen happening for so very long. The scripture actually talked about where people would begin to worship the creature more than the creator. And we see so much of that happening, and people don't see anything wrong with it. I remember some time ago, we talked about the show American Idol. It was almost like a kick in y'all's teeth. Like, I know that the scripture says that we are not to worship idols, but we're going to make American Idol. And so they propped people up as objects of worship. And they totally disregarded what the scripture talks about as it relates to idols. No regard for that whatsoever. You see, they're promoting people. They even used an image of an idol to represent the show's, mascot or whatever. And millions of people tuned in around the world as they appointed their next American Idol. In other words, we don't care about the creator. We're going to prop up the creature, the people, the person, the object of our worship. And so Beyonce has become that for many people. I've never really been one of those who is like into celebrities like that. I may have certain celebrities that I might like, or I like their show or whatever, but it's never been a thing of worship for me. I remember as a youngster coming up, I used to really like Oprah Winfrey. And I actually had a chance to be, I would say, less than 2 feet away from Oprah Winfrey when she came to Fox Theater in Detroit. And when she entered into the auditorium, I was like, one seat away from the end seat, and she was standing right there next to me, literally. And as I heard the crowd roaring and screaming her name, I stood there, and it was like, she's just a woman. She's a human being just like you and I. But I'm looking at these people as they literally worshipped this woman when she entered into the auditorium. And now we see this happening with Beyonce, and it has been happening for quite some time now, where people have made her the object of worship, dedicating church services to Beyonce, a woman who has proclaimed with her own mouth that some type of entity enters her and takes over, and she is no longer herself. This is someone who's telling you that I have been there. She's telling you that I want to get that wording right, that she has been taken over by something else. Sasha Fierce. She has said this. But yet people in the Christian arena have dedicated services to this woman. And I remember there was even an interview where a woman said that she doesn't just want to be like Beyonce, she wants to be with her. If you all know what I mean. And a lot of young people take on that attitude where they don't know, they have misplaced emotions. And they look at another woman who they feel is beautiful, and they start to desire that woman in an unnatural way. This country has produced so much lawlessness that is unreal. So much lawlessness and foolishness to where you have people worshiping other people and feel nothing about it. Nothing whatsoever. They feel as if it is normal. And everyone just goes along with it. And then they look at you like you're strange because you don't understand it or you don't agree with it. And they say, well, it's just music. She's just a celebrity. She's just a singer. She's just a star. Well, there was a church she used to go to. She's just buying the building. No, everything that you think is just little is not. A lot of this stuff is a big deal. There's something very, very sinister happening in this country. And this is why I equate this country with Mystery Babylon. It may only be one branch of it or one stem of it, but I equate this country with Mystery Babylon because so much wickedness happens here, goes unchecked and unpunished, unchallenged even. Just like Edom, this place is the border of wickedness. And everyone is okay with that. Defending it. You have Christians defending this mess. Beyonce is very much engrafted into this system here. Very much a part of this system. And people have given her the green light to be the kind of woman that she is, in which she is no example of womanhood whatsoever. But you have women who desire to be her, who envy her, want to be with her. Men, same thing. And now, and I believe she knows that she's an object of worship. So what is this next step that she is taking? Time will tell. With her purchasing this church, time will tell what her next step is. But what I'm asking you all is to pay attention. Stop brushing everything off as some insignificant coincidence. Some things are worth you paying attention to. You've been asleep for far too long. Many of you choose to stay asleep, and you want to think that everything is just innocent, and that people are reading too much into nothing. This is what many of you believe. But that is not the case. This existence as we know it is very, very dark. The world was already a dark place when the scripture said that the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. But it's becoming much more dark than we can ever imagine. This is why the scripture talks about the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins, how when the cry was made at midnight it is dark. It is a dark place. And so how do you find your way through this darkness? Whether you believe in scripture or not, for some of my listeners, I know you've already told me several times that I need to throw away that white man's book, as you call it, because you don't understand what has taken place in history, that history has been whited out. But that is a book of prophecies that are being fulfilled right before our eyes. And the things that we see taking place have been prophesied. Evil men and women are waxing worse and worse. Things are going downhill fast. And so not only do we need to get a grip on reality, but we need to get a grip on our minds and learn how to decipher when the light is being shined on something and darkness is being talked about and revealed and exposed. Let it prompt research, and don't reject everything that we say as it relates to what the scripture talks about. Do some research. Because this darkness that is flooding the earth is going to overtake many like a snare. And all the things that you thought were just innocent, that you thought had no bearing on your life, they are going to overtake you until you are destroyed. We had better start paying attention because the powers of darkness have revved up in a way that we have never witnessed before. And they are forging ahead. But what most people are doing is they are drifting further and further into La La Land, into a dream world, a world that is not real, a world that does not exist, drifting further and further into this world and losing touch with reality, because what is real is so glossed over to where we think that which is fictional is reality, and that which is real we have rejected. Okay, family. With that, I will say shalom.